Hello and welcome to Let's Get Growing. It's Jo here from Bulwell Forest Garden and we're in the middle of February. It's the calm before the storms, I think. It's not a bad day today. It's been a bit damp, but it's brightened up a bit. You can hear all the birds singing, but I think we've got worse weather to come. So bearing that in mind, we're not going to be sowing too many sensitive plants today, but you have got packs. So we'll start with the packs. So you should have, in your pack, you should have a little packet of summer bulbs called Gladiolis. So we're going to show you, I'm going to show you some pictures here. So we've got the first ones, which are, you should have a couple of Gladiola Callianthus. And so these are going to look like these are the smaller bulbs. And then you've got some bigger ones which are more like your traditional gladioli. So there should be one of those, and that's going to be probably a blue colour because that's the mix that's in here. So first thing I'm going to do is plant our summer bulbs. So I've got quite a deepish pot here, and I was going to put them all in together, but I'm going to do a bit of a cheat here because bulbs aren't that fussy. So I've got a bit of homemade compost and leaf mould. It's quite rough, but it can go in the bottom there. I'll take the plastic out, and that's just going to save us like a bit on compost, and the bulbs will like it. So I'm going to fill it about half full with that, and then I'm going to put a bit of peat-free compost in there. Alright, let's have a look at our bulbs. So the bigger ones. So we need to work out which way up they are. So we can see this bit here. So that's going to be where the shoot is at the top. And this is where the roots are going to grow, where it's sort of dinted in a bit. So I think I'm just going to put that one in the middle. And then my other bags here. So these are the smaller gladiolos. These are a bit easier to see. You can see the pointy shoot there. That's where the roots will grow. So I might just put them in. I'm just going to put them in like that. And these should hopefully flower in about June. Might be a bit later with it being the first year. So I'm going to cover them up, and then on the top I'm going to put a bit of leaf mould. But don't worry if you haven't got any. Give them a little press down. I'm going to put a label in. So we've got the nice new homemade labels out of old Venetian blinds. I'll stick that in, and we'll put that down there. Okay, the next thing you should have in your pack is a little envelope with butterfly and bee mix. So this is just a general mix with some different wildflowers in that are beneficial to bees and butterflies. So there'll be some poppies and cornflowers, looks like some yarrow. I think it's a mix of sort of annuals and perennial wildflowers. So we're going to just get a tray. Now it looks like you've got a lot of seeds here, but I think there's some sort of seed carrier, I don't know what it is, in with them. So I'm not exactly sure. It's a bit more difficult when you've got something like that, because this is not all a big box of seeds. It's got another sort of medium in to help you sort of scatter them, because you can just scatter these outside, but I'm going to do like a more controlled way of growing them, mainly for growing in pots. Whoop. Don't want to get it in the rest of my compost. So you see what I mean by a lot of seeds, but a lot of that is some sort of maybe sawdusty matter, but you can see there are seeds in there. So I'm just gonna, might be way too much. It's a difficult thing to know, but we'll soon see. And then I'm just going to cover them very lightly. Press them down. Make sure you've got holes in the bottom of your container. Butterfly. Oh, I've rubbed some of that right enough, but anyway. Butterfly and bee. I'm going to put my label in. And what I would do with these after I've watered them is I'm going to put another plastic lid on it to act as a propagator. Finally, you should have a little packet of Kelvedon Wonder peas. So these are peas which are designed for earlier on in the year or later on in the year, so they're a bit hardier than the main crop peas. So we're going to do them in toilet roll tubes. So some of you who've been on the scheme for a year now will probably remember using these before and why we used them. And the reason for peas why they're so good is because they're quite deep, and peas have got deep roots, and also they don't like being disturbed. So when they've grown in here, we can take the whole thing, and because these are biodegradable, and we can plant them into the ground, the least amount of disturbance for the plant. So we're going to fill up these, and so I've got 2 tubs here, and it's worth doing, even though you think this isn't maybe more than you would grow, it's worth doing more than you think you need, because they might not all germinate, or they might get eaten by slugs. Okay, so I'm going to dib a little hole in each one. And I've soaked my seeds for an hour or so just to soften them up and it make them germinate a bit easier, because they've got kind of quite hard seed coating. I'm going to put 1 seed in each. And I'm going to cover them up, press them down. Just stick in there. So I'll water them with a rose on the end of my watering can so I don't wash them out. And then I've got another mushroom tray that I'm going to use again as a propagator. So it's worth saying that if you can't protect these peas, you might as well wait a little bit, because the frost will kill them. So you are going to need some way to and a little bit of heat is kind of beneficial. So if you've got a sunny window, it might be a good place to set them off, or you could wait a little while. I'm just going to leave these in the polytunnel. Hopefully they will be okay. We'll see. So I think that's all of your packs for this week. We'll have a quick look at some of the other things and how they're doing. So, oh, look at the Lasagna pots, crocuses. So that's nice. A little bit dry. Some of the other things that are doing really well is because I put it in a big pot, or you could put it in the ground if you've got ground, is the Oriental Poppy, which is really bulked up just from a tiny little cutting. And also I put this in a nice deep pot, the Hollyhock, and that's flourishing. Its roots are coming out the bottom. I mean, I could leave it in that. Tempted to put it in the ground really, but I think I'll leave it in there to see how it goes. But my broad beans do really need to be going outside. See all the roots coming through here. And the California Poppy, it's a bit dry, probably would also benefit from a bigger pot. Yeah, it's quite root bound there. Bigger pot or in the ground, so some decisions to be made there. And so we're just going to have a quick look at the wormery that I made in January, see what's happening, and it looks like good to me. You can see the worms here, so I'm just going to have a look in. I have been feeding them little and often, and we're going to have a look down into here and see what we can see. So looking good. Can you see them all? So yeah, I'm very happy with that. We're turning all that kitchen squirrel, those kitchen scraps, into a really valuable planting medium. And finally, I forgot to show you the little Bellis perennis pomponettes that were in the last pack, and this one I repotted it, and look at how it's going. It's fantastic, and it's got some little buds, flower buds on it already there, so I'm very happy with that. So thanks for watching and happy gardening, and remember to let us know how you're getting on the Facebook page, and maybe put some photos on of your bulb pots or anything else that you're happy with, or if you've got any questions or any problems. Okay, bye.